Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight, we have Uli Jon Roth, and I've had a few requests to get an Uli video up here, so we're going to be having a little look at the sales of Charon. So let's get Uli up on screen and see how he gets on. And if you're looking for any way to start a song, that's how you do it. And there is so much in there. It would probably take a few years just to kind of go through each little phrase and explain what's so good about it. What I love about Uli is that before he actually kind of got involved with the Scorpions, I think even to his own admission, he said he just played classical guitar and that was it. And he had all this kind of classical style and this neoclassical way of playing. And what I love about this in particular, there's so much in terms of styles of playing that's going on. You know, he's got almost like a flamenco kind of sound in there, which, you know, your techniques have got to be top notch to start throwing that kind of stuff in there. There's little parts of the riff. I mean, first of all, the melody in the riff, you can't beat a melody and someone who has an ear for melody. And certainly Uli has that great ear for melody, just to break up the playing with little fast sections, but then also bits that just stick in your head. So yeah, really cool from just a writing perspective, but then translating that over to playing, so much technical stuff going on here as well. Another thing I like about this particularly is that back in the kind of 80s, a lot of the solos and riffs were minor based, which means that they're kind of sad sounding if you don't know the difference between kind of minors and majors. What I love about this is that Uli throws in major notes. He kind of dashes them around, so it gives it a different sound to your normal riff. So yeah, it's kind of really clever writing, and really, there's no point in being clever unless you could get it to sound good as well. And that's certainly the case with this riff. Like I said, if you want to start a song, this is how you do it. But there's so much cool technique in there. And yeah, that kind of neoclassical way of playing. Also, the Egyptian scale that he throws in there as well. There's so many great things that he's kind of putting in a melting pot and just kind of just stirring it up. It's really cool to listen to. As a guitar player and a guitar teacher, there's so much cool stuff going on there that you kind of just want to break it down in tiny little sections and just say how good it was, because there's so much great technique. But we'll watch a little bit further on. Another thing that I love is that this is quite a recent performance. I think Uli's now like early 60s. In terms of age, obviously, and yeah, what I love is players that don't age on the fretboard. You get some guys who play, and as they get older, their style kind of tends to go, or they lose a bit of speed or dexterity, but Uli's still got everything that he ever had, so yeah, really cool. There you go, really solid riff work, tiny bit of Egyptian scale just to kind of make it sound super cool, and then back into that solid riff work as well. And I always say just playing riffs solidly in time, being super tight with the band is harder than it looks. It takes a lot of practice and appreciation of rhythm from the drummer and the bassist to kind of really get a tight unit down. So yeah, great riff work and just great melody in the riffs again. And again, another really cool variation on the playing for that kind of second verse section. What the great players do is they'll always keep it interesting, even when there's only one guitar. They'll play the rhythm one way, and in a verse they'll then change it up another way to keep it interesting. Same with kind of chorus and little fill lines. They'll change it up, make it interesting to listen to every time. And yeah, the great guys can just kind of do it, mix it up live. They turn up live and give you something totally different to the record as well. But this is the kind of tune that you kind of just want to hear it exactly as it is on the record, because it's so good in the first place. It's like one of those things that once it's been written and played and you hear it, you just want all those melodies to be reproduced live. But Uli's certainly one of those guys that, you know, he's got that kind of classical training and ability to be able to mix up any line that he wants to throw at you. He will be able to. But really cool stuff so far. And one thing I always say on these videos is check out the vibrato. The top players can always give you a great vibrato on note. They'll give you a great vibrato at the top of bends as well, and they don't need a whammy bar to kind of give them that kind of edge. A lot of players use the whammy bar and are so dependent on it, whereas the top players just give them a guitar with a fixed bridge, and they'll be able to move you and emote through that guitar just with that one hand that they've got. So yeah, don't let Uli's vibrato go under the radar here, because, you know, it's really cool, really slow and controlled, really top vibrato here. I was going to stop it a little bit earlier, but then you just listen to the lines and you just want to hear another line and then another line, and that's what all the top players do. You always want to hear the next line, even though you kind of waiting to stop it, but then, oh, there's another great line. But yeah, I mean, the playing here, I don't want this video to go on for too long. It's already gone on for quite long just because it's Uli and there's so much to look at here. But his techniques, you know, a little bit of sweeping in there as well. That neoclassical way of playing up and down that fretboard, throwing in that Egyptian scale. Really cool sounding runs here. Another quick thing about Uli's guitars as well. He has these Sky guitars, which are his own kind of thing. And he has, I think it's like 4 or 5 knobs on the guitar. And I think actually there's an updated model that actually has 5 more on the top of the guitar. So it's got like 10 different effectively tone and volume knobs that he can totally adjust the sound as to what he's getting. And I think also he's got like 30 frets or something like that. So he can play the guitar like almost like a violin. I think that was the point of doing it from that classical training. He wants access to all the notes he can get. What you'll find is most of the time, if you have a guitar that's got 24 frets, that's usually kind of quite a lot. It's going to be 2 octaves. But yes, having 30, you know, is certainly going to be getting kind of tight up towards the top of that neck. But he's also got a pickup underneath the neck, right up at the top there as well. So some really cool design features as well in Uli's guitars. Yeah, just really cool to watch. Like I said, I don't want this to go on for too long, but I'm going to put the link to this video in the description below because there's still loads of cool stuff that Uli's about to do. But thank you so much for suggesting this video for me to take a look at. Keep those coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!